Miles Orurin had translated war threats, antimatter tariff disputes, and debates on whether a moon counts as livestock if it moves on its own. But nothing prepared him for the unique torture of the 8th hour of interstellar diplomacy. It wasn't a signature that finally sealed the peace, but the weight of a weary head on his shoulder. In that moment, Miles was no longer just a translator. He was the only thing preventing the collapse of 2 stellar empires. In this hall, where trillions of credits are discussed in whispers, silence became the most dangerous weapon. If he moved, the war would reignite. If he stayed still, he could change the course of history forever. The Celestial Accord Hall was designed to intimidate. Above, the star Vertus burns like a golden eye. Below, the Orion star map floats beneath their feet, a reminder to everyone present that the entire galaxy is listening. Miles adjusted his headset, ignoring the ache in his spine. Before him, Queen Ashara, sovereign of the Verete Dominion, watched the diplomatic chaos with a shield-like calm. But Miles saw what the ambassadors missed. The deep exhaustion in the Queen's eyes was haunting. She wasn't just listening to trade routes, she was carrying the weight of billions of lives that hung on her every word. The tension in the room was a razor's edge. Suddenly, the protocol shattered. Without warning, Ashara stood up. The hall froze. Guards moved their hands to their weapons. But as she walked, the Queen hesitated. A misstep, a human weakness in a near-divine body. She swayed, and before any guard could react, she collapsed, not onto the floor, but directly against Miles's shoulder. The silence that followed was absolute. Miles felt her breath, steady, rhythmic, and surprisingly heavy. The most powerful woman in the galaxy was asleep in his lap. Captain Seva, a giant in black armor, stepped forward, his blade gleaming. Miles's fate now hung on a single decision: wake the Sovereign or face the Royal Guard's fury. Humans say sleep repairs the mind, Miles whispered to the captain as his legs began to lose all feeling. Hours passed. The star map below them continued to spin, fleets moving across the holographic floor in absolute silence. In her sleep, Ashara wasn't a ruler. She was an orphan of war, murmuring about reports and casualties that never ended. Every minute of the Queen's sleep was a minute of peace for the galaxy, held by the effort of an exhausted translator. "If I survive this," Miles whispered to the AI console, "I want the official title of Royal Pillow."
Confirm receipt.
Captain Seva, for the first time in decades, allowed himself a dark smile. They were guarding the moment against the rest of the galaxy. 6 hours later, the light of Vertus gave way to the blue glow of distant stars. Ashara opened her eyes. She didn't wake with a start, but with the clarity of someone who finally found safe harbor and realized the universe hadn't ended. "The treaty will be signed today," she declared, with a voice no longer carrying the weight of the world. "What are we fighting for after all?" she asked. Miles smiled through the numbness. "For the right to sleep without fear, Your Majesty." At Zenith Imperium, we learn that the greatest power isn't in conquering stars, but in knowing when to let them go. If you seek the future, subscribe. The next secret of the galaxy awaits you at the apex of science fiction.